You think you're at the top of the food chain? Sorry to break it to you, but you're just a survivor. 140 million years ago, there was a creature that was a crocodile, but it evolved a shark's body. When scientists first saw the fossils, they were silent for 3 whole days. Because, according to evolution, this thing should never have existed. It shed its scales, and grew fins. It even learned to give birth in the sea. It was 8 meters long, and its bite force could grind your bones to dust. It ruled the oceans for 20 million years, 100 times longer than human history. Then, overnight, they all vanished. No volcano, no meteor, no trace at all. Paleontologists still dare not answer one question: what could cause the complete extinction of these ocean rulers? Even scarier, if that thing is still around, guess what it's eating now? Scientists named this creature sea croc, meaning the crocodile of the ocean. But let me tell you, that name is way too gentle. It doesn't do justice to its ferocity. The story begins 200 million years ago. Back then, Earth had just experienced a mass extinction, the Triassic-Jurassic extinction event. The oceans were in disarray, with many ecological niches left empty. Right at that moment, a group of crocodiles made a crazy decision: they would go into the sea. You might say, what's so special about crocodiles going into the sea? Don't saltwater crocodiles also swim in the ocean? But I'm telling you, it's not the same at all. Saltwater crocodiles just occasionally wander into the sea. But this group was determined to become full-fledged marine creatures. First, they remodeled their tails. A normal crocodile's tail is round, like a club, but sea crocs evolved a shark-like tail fin, which drastically increased their swimming speed, allowing them to dart through the water like torpedoes. Then, their limbs began to shrink, and their powerful claws turned into flat flippers, like a dolphin's fin. This was the first true fin to appear among archosaurs. Do you know what that means? It means they gave up land forever. But the craziest change was that they shed their armor. What is a crocodile most proud of? That impenetrable suit of scales. But the sea crocs said, we don't need it. They evolved smooth skin like dolphins, without a single scale. Why? Because in the ocean, speed mattered more than defense. When you are the hunter, you don't need armor. Scientists classify these fully marine crocodiles as the Metriorhynchids. They are the most adapted archosaurians to the marine environment, more extreme than ichthyosaurs, more thorough than plesiosaurs. And within this family there is a formidable species, called Geosaurus. It was nearly 7 meters long, comparable to an adult orca. But orcas are mammals, social creatures, that hunt cooperatively. Geosaurus was a lone assassin, taking on the entire ocean by itself. Geosaurus's mouth was full of curved, serrated teeth, not cone-shaped like regular crocodiles, but bladed teeth with saw-like edges. One bite could tear tens of kilograms of flesh from its prey. Paleontologists found gnawed ichthyosaur bones near its fossils. You heard that right, ichthyosaurs. Those were the top predators of the ocean back then. But to Geosaurus, they were just a lunch. Yet Geosaurus wasn't the most terrifying. The true nightmare was Dactylosaurus. Its name in Greek means tearing lizard. Just from the name you know it's not to be trifled with. Dactylosaurus fossils were first discovered in Germany. Scientists initially thought they were teeth of a carnivorous dinosaur, because its teeth looked so much like those of a T-Rex, big, curved, with fine serrations along the edges. Later, they realized this thing was a crocodile with dinosaur teeth. Dactylosaurus had a short head, not flat like a regular crocodile's. Its head was triangular from the side, like an axe. This head shape provided a stronger bite force. Scientists have estimated that a single bite from Dactylosaurus was powerful enough to pierce an ichthyosaur's belly, and this creature was particularly smart. It knew how to use its strengths. Dactylosaurus wouldn't tear wildly like a shark. Instead, it would ram its prey with that axe-like head, stunning and injuring it, then feast slowly. This hunting strategy was almost unstoppable in the ancient oceans. Even more bizarrely, Dactylosaurus fossils are not only found in Europe, but also in South America, Argentina, Mexico. All of them had their bones dug up. What does that mean? It means this creature had an extremely wide distribution, spanning almost the entire ancient Tethys Sea. That sea was the predecessor of today's Mediterranean and Indian Oceans. Imagine that scene. 150 million years ago, a group of scaleless crocodiles swam in the warm tropical seas. Their tails were like sharks, Their limbs were like dolphins. Their teeth were like dinosaurs. Any creature that entered their territory became prey. Ichthyosaurs, plesiosaurs, schools of ammonites, even pterosaurs flying too low. None of them could escape. This group of sea crocodiles ruled the oceans for 80 million years. From the early Jurassic to the early Cretaceous. Do you know what 80 million years means? Humans have only been walking upright for 7 million years. Their reign was more than 10 times the length of human history. But something strange happened. About 125 million years ago, the family suddenly vanished from the Earth. No asteroid impact, no supervolcanic eruption, no drastic sea level changes. Nothing at all. They simply went extinct without a trace. Fossils of the last sea crocodiles were found in early Cretaceous strata, and then nothing more, as if they had never existed at all. Paleontologists have proposed several hypotheses. The first explanation is climate cooling. From the end of the Jurassic to the early Cretaceous, the Earth did experience a period of cooling. Sea crocodiles lacked the ability to regulate body temperature. Cold-blooded animals become sluggish in low temperatures. Perhaps they froze to death. The second explanation is more interesting. Some scientists believe their prey evolved. Sea crocodiles mainly ate fish, and during that period, a new type of fish called teleosts began to rise. Teleosts swam faster, were more agile, and harder to catch. Sea crocodiles could no longer keep up. But the most terrifying hypothesis is the third one. Some say that mosasaurs appeared. What are mosasaurs? They were the ultimate rulers of the Cretaceous oceans, reaching up to 17 meters in length, twice the size of sea crocodiles, and the body structure of mosasaurs was strikingly similar to sea crocodiles. Streamlined bodies, powerful limbs, strong tails. It's basically an upgraded version of the Thalattosuchian. Maybe the Thalattosuchian didn't go extinct naturally. They were eliminated, completely replaced by a more powerful, more ferocious newcomer. Just like in business competition, it's not that you weren't good enough, it's that your opponent was too strong. Such is the cruelty of evolution. So what if you ruled for 80 million years? As long as a rival better adapted to the environment appears, you have to step aside. No exceptions. But the story isn't over yet. In 2024, a research team from the University of Southampton, in the UK published a paper. They used CT scans on 11 Thalattosuchian skulls, and discovered a shocking secret. The sinuses of Thalattosuchians are completely different from those of modern whales. Whale sinuses shrink as diving depth increases, to withstand water pressure. But Thalattosuchian sinuses actually expand in deep water. What does this mean? It means Thalattosuchians couldn't dive deep. They could only move in shallow waters. If they dived too deep, their skulls would be crushed by water pressure. That was their Achilles heel. Scientists also discovered a special salt gland in the Thalattosuchians' sinuses. This gland could expel excess salt from the body. When a Thalattosuchian contracted its jaw muscles, the gland would be squeezed. Then they'd sneeze, spraying out the salt, just like modern marine iguanas do. A crocodile that sneezes. Can you imagine? It's both terrifying and hilarious. These discoveries tell us that although Thalattosuchians were extremely adapted to the ocean, they had a fatal weakness. Their evolution wasn't thorough enough. They couldn't dive deep like whales, couldn't breathe efficiently like dolphins. They were stuck halfway in evolution, one step away from ruling the deep sea. If they had been given a few more, tens of millions of years, maybe today's oceans would be home to a giant creature, with a crocodile snout swimming around. But history doesn't have what-ifs. The mosasaur came, and the Thalattosuchian left. Now back to the question at the beginning. If the Thalattosuchian hadn't gone extinct, what would the world be like today? First, sharks might not have become the rulers of the ocean, because Thalattosuchians were more ferocious than sharks, and more adaptable. That sharks are alive today, to some extent they owe thanks to the extinction of the Thalattosuchian. Second, humans might never dare to go into the sea. An 8-meter-long crocodile that sneezes, with dinosaur teeth, prowls every warm sea, swimming, surfing, diving. Don't even think about it. The story of the sea crocodile tells us, there has never been an eternal overlord on this earth. No matter how powerful you are, no matter how long you have ruled, one day a stronger existence will replace you. The dinosaurs were like that. The sea crocodiles were like that. We humans, can we be any exception? Next time you go to the seaside, looking at that blue ocean, think about it. 140 million years ago, right beneath this water, once swam the most terrifying killers on Earth. They disappeared, but the ocean remains, and we are just another batch of passers-by.